I did that a million years ago. A DOC trip report by Face Monzard, posted to Erowid.org July 16th, 2016. I thought I was taking 4 hits of LSD, a drug I've done quite a few times, and found out pretty quickly it wasn't LSD at all. I was with a first timer who took 2 hits. We ate our sugar cubes and went on a walk to pass the time. Once the DOC started to kick in, I felt sick. Half an hour later, I threw up, which I found extremely odd. We headed back to my house and chilled in my backyard. It hadn't been that long, and I was already feeling it pretty hard. I knew this trip would be way different from my other ones. Still feeling nauseous, I focused on the night sky, that now was filled with billions of stars. Once we went inside, we got out paper and oil pastels. I tried to draw, but couldn't focus on it. I went upstairs to my room to get something. I don't remember exactly what, but I came back down to find 3 of our friends were at the door. I quickly and excitedly greeted them. For some reason, I ended up thinking we were in trouble and that they were there to help us. I said goodbye, closed the door, and went back downstairs to my friend. Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I kept seeing my one friend who had just left. I'd keep asking my friend, "Is Kyle here?" She would assure me no one was in the house. I sat down on my couch and the world began to weave. I couldn't make out anything anymore. All I saw was a weave design that kept shifting. The weave made a tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, I saw a flashing red and blue light. I thought, am I dying? Is the ambulance here for me? I asked my friend for help. I really didn't know what was going on. My body felt as if it was constantly shifting. No position was comfortable, so I had to keep moving. I could feel my friend cuddle me as I lay down on the couch. What do I do? If I stay here, will everything be alright? Can I just lie here and do nothing forever? Please do something. Fix this. Help me, I said to her. I knew she couldn't help me, so I asked her to call my boyfriend and have him come over. I eventually saw his face in the weave tunnel and I could make him out saying my name and urgently telling me to do something. What that something was, I couldn't hear. His voice changed into a rhythm that just kept on repeating. The next thing I knew, I was waking up on my bed next to him. The thing about DOC is that it made my common sense disappear completely. I accepted everything as it was and didn't question a thing. I was convinced there were holograms all about my room. I thought they were legitimate. There was everything, from actual people to tropical decorations to rain. Here's where the line between reality and hallucination gets very blurry. My boyfriend was there. He talked to me. He didn't try to have sex with me, which I hallucinated. He didn't talk about having sex with men, and he also didn't masturbate. All of that, the DOC created for me. My room turned into a tropical R&B club. I was convinced my friend Kyle created it. He created the music, the decorations, and he invited the people. I accepted that and continued to lay there. My room now, I was convinced wasn't my room. It was Kyle's. I couldn't leave because his parents were downstairs. I decided to fall asleep and wait until the morning. I woke up and still thought I was in Kyle's room, so I waited. My boyfriend showed up and I was extremely thankful. He lay down on my bed with me and asked if I was okay. I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't know I wasn't okay. The odd thing was, I couldn't talk in my own voice. I had the accent of an old-time southern black woman. Think of the movie The Help. Upon realising that I was still in my house, I felt foolish. My boyfriend and I went downstairs, and I found more holograms. They were all over my house. My friend woke up, and I immediately started apologising to her. I totally forgot she was there. Confused as to where the time went the night before, I felt terrible I forgot about her. She told me that it's fine, and she understands it could happen to anyone. But I was still confused. She asked if I remembered anything. I said yes, but still very confused. She left and I got ready for work. My boyfriend begged to call me in sick. He even went as far as to text my boss saying I was too sick to go into work. This actually made me angry, and I refused to not go to work. I thought I was completely sober. So I went to work, and yet again saw the holograms outside too. They were attached to my car somehow. They wouldn't leave, and I thought it was all my fault. The whole world was changing, and it would stay that way. The holograms were beautiful, but they were spreading, and I had no idea what to do. I was destroying nature forever. At work, I tried not to think about it, but I was obviously preoccupied and on drugs. I got yelled at and sent home by my manager, and driving home, I noticed the holograms got even worse. The strange thing about these hallucinations was that the world looked completely normal except for these holograms. Along with the lack of common sense, DOC made me believe what I saw was reality itself. There was now a second sun in the sky. There were planets, tornadoes, dancing giant fairies, and the world began to wilt and rot. Buildings looked like they'd been deserted centuries ago. I got home and called my boyfriend over. He cuddled me until I fell asleep. I accepted I couldn't fix the mess I'd created, and watched fog pour out of my ceiling as I drifted back to sleep. I woke up 10 hours later, finding that everything was back to normal, somewhat. I was very confused and asked my boyfriend what was going on. He told me something he should have before. The night I took the DOC, I fell into a time loop for 7 hours. I had a few phrases and names I found repeat over and over again. Should I go over there? Over here? I did that a million years ago. I've already done that. Ralph, Andrew, Kevin, Madison, Tara. What should I do? What those phrases and names meant, well, I have no idea, and I can't even remember saying them. When I went back to school, I talked to my dealer, and he told me that what I took was actually DOC. He received LSD and DOC all in the same order. Well, I guess we all played drug roulette, and I lost. So, here we are again today, covering DOC, for the first time since I think September 2021. I really should cover more of these psychedelic amphetamines. They produce these really bizarre, otherworldly trips. I've never actually taken it, and to be honest, they are quite dose sensitive and unusually long in the duration, and actually might be overly difficult to use safely for those who aren't already very experienced with hallucinogens. So therefore, you've got to err on the side of caution when it comes to these, substituted amphetamines. So the whole DO family covers loads of different substances: DOC, DOI, DOM. Covered them a few times before. I'll make a dedicated playlist to them now because I want to cover them more in the future, and I've already done a few in the past. Lots of them can be quite terrifying, although it must be said, there are some positive experiences out there, although don't be finding out for yourself, please. They're basically a mixture of psychedelic and stimulant effects. So DOC was first synthesized by a team at the University of Alberta in 1972, but its human usage was not popularized until the 1991 publication Pikal, Phenethylamines, I've Known and Loved by Alexander Shulgin. So quite a unique one here. Can't even imagine what it was like for this woman to have gone through this. A 7-hour time loop is just unfathomable. And there's a serious blurring of hallucination and reality in this report, and you can see this through a lot of the DO family reports. Spooky stuff. The thing is with psychedelics, on lower doses of them, there is a very much an understanding of, right, this is the hallucinatory effect of the substance, and this is reality, and then the lines blur and blur and blur. The higher the dose, the deeper you get into the psychedelic headspace. And I guess that's very similar for the DO family substances. On like threshold doses, you'll be able to tell the difference. But I think even getting into a common dose of these DO substances, or DOC in particular here, the line between reality and unreality blurs much quicker than it does on other psychedelics, although it is relative and subjective. So yeah, everybody's different. Like I say, we're all wired up in our own unique manner, and we respond to these mind-altering substances rather uniquely, even though there are general tidbits that overlap throughout all of our experiences. Yeah, so DOC actually lasts for around 12 to 24 hours and has these strong visual effects and this bizarre form of stimulation and this body load that can be quite uncomfortable. So yeah, not something I think you should be messing about with really, but it certainly is interesting to hear about. I know it's definitely interesting for me to read about because, like I say, it's something I'll never ever do or I'm interested in ever trying, so it's fascinating to find out what it's like from a second-hand perspective and then share it with you guys. But yeah, hope you're looking forward to more psychedelic amphetamine reports because yeah, really should have been covering them a lot more. There's a whole gamut of experiences out there in regards to psychedelics, and it's just fascinating how different it fluctuates through the whole spectrum of hallucinogens. But yeah, anyway, chatting pure breeze now, and I'll see you on the other side.